changing moods of the entire Odisha. I hope this session is going to be very fruitful for the sports persons, especially the young sports persons who have assembled here. And I now request Commissioner cum Secretary Sri R. Vinil Krishna sir to deliver his keynote address. Thank you, sir.
आज ये अवसर रे उपस्थित थिबा समस्त को मो शुभेच्छा जनाऊँगी। मो लंबा किसी कहिबी नहीं जेहेतु एटा मिलेट्स उपरे केमिति स्पोर्ट्स रिलेटेड इम्पैक्ट रहुची से विषय रे हमारा स्पेशलिस्ट माने अच्छी से माने ये विषय रे और कहिबे। मु खाली 2 मिनट पे कही कि साइड देउची। आपन देखिए आज इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस करूचंती मिलेट्स रे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री दिग्दर्शन रे। तो आपन जानिबे कि केते इम्पोर्टेंस देउचंती मिलेट्स प्रति हमारा राज्य सरकार। एटा एबे सारा संसार रे गोटे रिकग्निशन मिलला कि मिलेट्स को कहउचंती एबे सुपर फूड्स। एटा किछि नुआ जिनिस नहीं, मिलेट्स तो हमारा एंशिएंट ट्रेडिशन रू से सबु अच्छी हमारा फूड कल्चर रे सेटा अच्छी किंतु मझरे केतेटा और फूड ट्रेंड्स पटे आमे जाइथिलु किंतु वर्तमान सेटा रिकग्निशन आसीगला कि हाँ हमें वी हैव टू गो बैक टू द आवर ओन मिलेट्स। और जोटा हमें स्पोर्ट्स कहूचु स्पोर्ट्स विषय तो अपन समस्त जानुचंती राज्य सरकार केते गुरुत्व दियंती स्पोर्ट्स प्रति। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री विजन रहुची कि केमिति आमे ओडिशा को स्पोर्ट्स जगत रे बहुत आगू नेके जाइबा। से आप देखिए कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो कि कॉम्पिटिशन्स कि कोचिंग स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन रिलेटेड वेलफेयर सबु दिगरे ओडिशा गोटे बेंचमार्क करूचंती। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विषय जदि मो कहिबी कि तो आपन समस्त देखिथिबे केमिति कलिंगा स्टेडियम एबे पूरा देश रे लीडिंग स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स हिसाब रे हेची। और गला वर्ल्ड कप समय रे हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप समय रे बिरसा मुंडा हॉकी स्टेडियम भी हेतिला राउरकेला रे और राउरकेला रे भी गुड़ाई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर टॉप क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयारी हेची। वर्तमान जदि मो कहिबी कि सारा देश रे को राज्य बेसी स्पोर्ट्स प्रति गुरुत्व देउचंती सेटा होउची हमारा ओडिशा। आपनो जदि देखिबे जेते कि हमारा बजट रहुची स्पोर्ट्स बजट हमारा राज्य रे सेते की बजट और कौनसी भी राज्य रे नाई। हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रति पाखापाखि 3000 कोटी टंकार इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट होउची प्रति अर्बन एरिया रे प्रति ये स्पोर्ट्स रे हमें इन्वेस्टमेंट करूचु। और यदि हमें कंपटीशन विषय रे कहिबो तो इंटरनेशनल कॉम्पिटिशन्स हमें ऑर्गेनाइज करूचु। हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप रो आरंभ करी कि नेशनल जातीय स्तर रे हमें ऑर्गेनाइज करूचु और स्टेट स्तर रे भी राज्य स्तर रे भी हमें गुड़ाई बहुत स्टैंडर्ड वे रे हमें कॉम्पिटिशन्स ऑर्गेनाइज करूचु। एबे हमारा नुआ गोटे स्कीम भी आसी नुआ ओ बोली कि युवक प्रति से कॉलेजेस रे जो पाठ पढ़ुचंती से मानकर पाई सेतरे भी हमारा ब्लॉक स्तर रो आरंभ करी कि हमारा स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्पिटिशन्स रा गोटे योजना एबे हेबाकू जाउछ। और कोचिंग विषय जदि मो कहिबी तो हमारा हाई परफॉर्मेंस सेंटर्स गुड़ाई आरंभ हेइची सेटा भी बहुत आगू नेके जाउचंती स्टैंडर्ड्स एस्टाब्लिश करूचंती। सो ये मिलेट्स और स्पोर्ट्स को केमिति हमें इंटीग्रेट करूचु से विषय मु 2 मिनट कही देवी। आमे एबे आपनो जदि कलिंगा स्टेडियम को एबे आसीबे तो आपनो देखिबे कि हमारा हॉकी स्टेडियम साइड रे हमारा गोटे मिलेट कैफे हेछि। प्रथम तर पाए आमे मिलेट जो समय आमे आरंभ करूचु गोटे कैफे आमे भाबुतिलु कि जोटा हेल्दी फूड अछि जोटा स्वास्थ्य पर ठीक अछि। सो से टाइप रो फूड आमे देवा बोली कि आमे आरंभ करितिलु मिलेट कैफे। एटा मैं हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप समय आरंभ करूँ और सेटा बहुत भल रेस्पॉन्स भी आसी हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप परे भी जो भी हमारा कॉम्पिटिशन्स होउची स्टेडियम रे हो कि छोटा बड़ा जो भी अच्छी आमे एबे और बाहर कैटरिंग किसी देउनु आमे सबू करूचु मिलेट कैफे माध्यम रे सो दैट आमे जो समय हमारा प्लेयर्स मान को हो कि स्पेक्टेटर्स माने जो भी आसचंती से मान को केमिति आमे गोटे हेल्दी फूड आमे प्रमोट करिवा और आमे हमारा मेन्यू भी एबे चेंज करूचु स्पोर्ट्स हॉस्टल रे केमिति आमे इंक्लूड करिवा मिलेट स्टफ और गला वर्ल्ड कप समय आमे जॉइंटली आमे प्रमोट करितिलु मिलेट मिशन को आई थिंक मिली ना मिली जोटा मैस्कट अच्छी मिलेट मिशन पाए सेटा भी आमे हमारा हॉकी स्टेडियम रे हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप समय सेटा को प्रमोट करागला तो आमे भावुचु कि स्पोर्ट्स रे न्यूट्रिशन रा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बहुत गुरुत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रहुछि सो से न्यूट्रिशन को केमिति आमे और ठीक करिवा से दिगरे हमारा न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट माने और अन्य एक्सपर्ट माने भी आमे सजेशंस नहीं होचु से माने भी आज कहिबे मु देखुछि आपन भितर गुड़ाई स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन्स भी बसचंती आज एटी तो आपन माने भी मु भावुछि कि आज ये प्रोग्राम रा बेनिफिट पाइबे और मु आमे आशा करूछु कि ये मिलेट मिशन जोटा बहुत सक्सेसफुली चालुछि ओडिशा रे और ये आज ये बहुत सुंदर भाव रे ये मिलेट कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज करी ये माध्यम रे मु भावुछि कि मिलेट्स रा और प्रगति हेबो और लोको मिलेट्स प्रति ध्यान देवे और यदि मु पर्सनली कही भी तो मोर मैडम मोर वाइफ जो अच्छी से खाली रागी खाती के केबे भी राइस की वीट ये सब किसी खाती नहीं तो मु तो फैमिली रे देखुची केते बेनिफिट पाउचंती खाली रागी खाई सकाले संध्या मध्याह्न सबु बेले ओनली रागी खाती तो मु तो निजे मु तो खाई ने आई से तो भल टेस्ट तो हुए नहीं तो से मु बेसी खाए ने किंतु मु देखुची कि से रागीर केते बेनिफिट रहुची स्वास्थ्य उपरे मोर परिवार भीतरे ही सो मु आशा करुची आपनो समस्त भी एटा आज बेनिफिट पाइबे आज ये पैनल डिस्कशन जोटा हेबो आपन को न्यूट्रिशन माने जो कहिबे सेटा को फॉलो करिबे और मु आशा करुची मिलेट रा और भी उन्नति हेबो ओडिशा रे थैंक यू सो मच
थैंक यू सर फॉर योर इंस्पायरिंग वर्ड्स एटा गोटे बहुत बड़ा कथा जे ओडिशा स्पोर्ट्स रो प्रगति रे न्यूट्रिशन रो आवश्यकता केते अधिका अछि सरकार सेटा बुझिचंती एवं डिपार्टमेंट तरफ आम निरंतर चेष्टित अच्छु जे केमती मिलेट्स को आमर स्पोर्ट्स हॉस्टल रे हो आमर बाकी हाई परफॉर्मेंस सेंटर्स रो एथलीट्स मानक पई हो केते आमे अधिक इंटीग्रेट करि पारिबो सो दैट दी nutrients, mostly the micronutrients and the nutritional value of millets can be better harnessed for the sports persons. And with this, I now request we have here a successful sports person from Odisha, Mr. K. Ravi Kumar, 2010 Commonwealth Games रे gold medalist in weightlifting. मु रिक्वेस्ट करी के रवि कुमार आम ग्रहण में पहुँचे. ही इज ए लिविंग लेजेंड. वर्तमान ओडिशार हाई परफॉर्मेंस सेंटर जो अच्छी वेट लिफ्टिंग तार जड़े सीनियर कोच एवं अनेक युवपीढ़ी जो माने वेट लिफ्टिंग को तांकर करियर ऑप्शन भाव बाछुचंती. ही हैज बीन ए मेंटर एंड इंस्पिरेशन. आई विश आज समस्ते समवेत होइथिबा स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन माने स्पोर्ट्स को श्रद्धा करुथिबा लोक माने तांको इठी इंस्पिरेशन भाव नेबे एवं आई विल रिक्वेस्ट द टीम टू फेलिसिटेट मिस्टर के रवि कुमार फॉर हिज एक्जेम्पलरी कंट्रीब्यूशन इन द स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड. Thank you so much. Odisha never had dearth of sports persons. Thing is that with each advancing year, with the dedication put by our sports persons and under the visionary leadership of Honorable Chief Minister, the number is swelling up with each passing year. सेमती जड़े युव स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन जी राज्य पाई देश पाई गर्वित करमको आम ग्रहण में उपस्थित अच्छा श्री मिस अनुपमा स्वाई एशियन पावर लिफ्टिंग रे गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट एशियन चैंपियनशिप रे गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट पाई एबे जुजित्सु क्रीड़ा को बाछी से एशियन चैंपियंस एशियन गेम्स रे भाग नहीं एबे रिसेंटली कंक्लूडेड आबुधाबी एशियन चैंपियनशिप रे ब्रोंज मेडल पाई मु रिक्वेस्ट करी अनुपमा स्वाई को डायस उपर को आसीबे एंड आई विल रिक्वेस्ट दी टीम टू फेलिसिटेट अनुपमा स्वाई मिलेट्स एवं नारी शक्ति सहित जो सम्मेलन अच्छी अनुपमा ताको इपिटमाइज करुछंती तो से जड़े भल उदाहरण आमर महिला क्रीड़ाविद मानक पई निजर डिटर्मिनेशन एवं अध्यवसाय बल रे सी आज दुई थर गोल्ड मेडल एशियन लेवल पाई एवं भविष्य दिन में से विल कंटिन्यू टू ब्रिंग लॉरेल्स फॉर द स्टेट सो मिलेट्स एवं स्पोर्ट्स रो कथा सरी नाही ये तो आरंभ है मु धन्यवाद देव आपण मानकु धैर्यर सहकारे ए सेशन रे आम सहित जोड़ी होइतिबारु मु धन्यवाद देवी आज आम ग्रहण रे उपस्थित रही माननीय कमिश्नर कम सेक्रेटरी स्पोर्ट्स जो वक्तव्य रखिले एज यू से चैरिटी बिगिन्स एट होम सार जमते कहले ही हैज एक्सपीरियंस्ड द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ मिलेट्स इन हिज होम इटसेल्फ एंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस मिलेट्स आर नॉट नाउ समथिंग ए फॉरगेटन ग्रेन समस्त घरे किछि ना किछि परिमाण रे मिलेट्स माने विगत 4-5 वर्ष भितरे they have made inroads and coming days are going to be more exciting for millets and the entire nutritional landscape. With this I would thank the honorable dignitaries for contributing here, for being here and encouraging us in this international convention on millets. And now I request my co-panelist Swasti to take over the stage and we will have discussion on panel discussion on millets and sports. And Swasti, this is for your turn, please.
Thank you so much, Andit sir. I would request you to stay back for your felicitation. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we all have this Millet in Sports conference. Let's get on with the topic. Before the actual panel discussion, I would ask Ms. Minati Sabat from Swayam Shraddha SHG to share her experience with all of us.
जय जगन्नाथ. I am Minati Sabat from Swayam Shraddha ALF ro as a member. मु जेहेतु गोटे सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप रु बिलंग करुछि सर्वप्रथमे आमर माननीय मुख्यमंत्री को धन्यवाद देवाक चाहूँगी जे महिला मानू जो वोमेन एम्पावरमेंट देइछंती जद्वारा कि आज आम गोटे इंटरनेशनल स्टेडियम रे ठिया हवाकू सुजोग पाइछु और एठी जो 5 मिनट पे मते कहवाकू भी सुजोग देइछंती मो कलिंग स्टेडियम मैनेजमेंट टीम को भी मो तरफ अशेष धन्यवाद जनाऊँगी समस्त को मोर हृदय भूमिष्ठ प्रणाम जनाऊँगी आमे तो ओडिशा मिलेट मिशन और मिशन शक्ति दुईटा कोलाबोरेशन रु आमे आज 2023 जो 12 जनवरी रे हॉकी टाइम जेतबले कि वर्ल्ड कप हॉकी हैला सेतबले हमको गोटे अपॉर्चुनिटी देले जे गोटे मिलेट स्टॉल करिया पे जो मिलेट आउटलेट मिलिला सेथिपाई आमे जो भय थिला गोटे इंटरनेशनल स्टेडियम रे आमे गोटे हेल्दी फूड आमे सेठी दबाकू जाऊँ जोटा कि मिलेट्स रू जोटा कि एबे पूरा ओडिशा रे आज मिलेट ईयर जो कोलाबोरेशन हमरो चली से आम आज गोटे स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम है कि ठिया पार्छु जहाँकि कलिंग स्टेडियम मैनेजमेंट टीम रो एते सपोर्ट आमको ओडिशा मिलेट मिशन रो गाइड मिशन शक्ति रो सपोर्ट जद्वारा कि आमको आज ये ठिया करि पारिछि जहाँकि आज 5 मिनिट पूर्वर आमको खोर्धा डिस्ट्रिक्ट रु गोटे मिलेट ईयर रो अवार्ड भी आमको मिली सेथिपाई कि समस्त को आम ओडिशा तरफ आम माननीय मुख्यमंत्री को धन्यवाद एवं ओडिशा मिलेट मिशन एवं मिशन शक्ति को मध्य धन्यवाद तापरे मु कहिबी हमर कलिंग स्टेडियम उपरे जेहेतु आमे गोटे इंटरनेशनल स्टेडियम रे गोटे मिलेट फूड बनाऊँ जोटा कि हॉकी टाइम रे जेतेबेले बाहर सब प्लेयर्स माने आसिले तापरे जिते ऑडियंस भी आसिले आमर मिलेट फूड को एते से माने प्रशंसा कले जोटा कि आज आमको गोटे स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम हिसाब से आगू को बढ़िबार गोटे सुजोग देला सेतबेले आमे फॉक्सटेल रू आलूचप बनैलु लिटिल मिलेट रू डोसा उत्तपम बनैलु तापरे बरा भी बनैलु सेटा कि जोटा कि इवनिंग स्नैक्स रे एते भिड़ हैला जोटा कि आउ आमे पछकु अनेकी चाहिनु सेबेठु आमे ही से मिलेट फूड रे आज एते बाट आज आगेइछु तापरे हॉस्टेल छुआ माने जोटा कि छुआ मैंने हूँ तांको गार्डियन मानक भी फोन करुँच मो पिला को गोटे जूस पियाइबे मो पुओ को गोटे मिलेट लड़ू देवे तापरे से जहाँ अलग खाद्य खाइब समस्त को जना है जे मिलेट्सटा केते गोटे हेल्दी फूड केते न्यूट्रिशन अच्छी केते प्रोटीन अच्छी केते कैल्शियम अच्छी समस्त को अवगत हो गलानी हॉस्टेल पिला माने आम मिलेट होटेल को एते प्रशंसा करुँच माँ बापा फोन शुणिकी आम आउ गोटे माँ बनी जाइछु सेठी समस्त पिला मानू आम एते गाइड करके नहींचु जे गोटे हेल्दी फूड खातु एवं सुस्थ रही गोटे स्पोर्ट्स डिपार्टमेंट रे से माने आगु को जातु आउ तो रहा आमर मैनेजमेंट सार मानू मु तो किसी स्पेशलिस्ट हो जाऊँगी से एते सपोर्ट आम जे आम माँ मैंने जो मिलेट आउटलेट पाई से कौन असुविधा न रहू से आम जहाँ डिमांड जो टाइम रे करिछु सबू आम सपोर्ट पाइछु जद्वारा कि जितेबले गोटे लंच रो भी आमको मैनेजमेंट तरफ मिलूँ आम चाइनीज हो इंडियन हो आम लंच रो प्रिपरेशन भी से स्टेडियम भितर आम टीम करिपारुछि तापरे आउ रहिला जे हॉस्टेल पिला माने केमती बाहर को न जिबे तापाई भी गोटे मैनेजमेंट टीम आमको सपोर्ट करिकी गोटे वन स्टॉप आउटलेट रिसेंट आम इनागुरेट करिछु जोटा कि हॉस्टेल पिला एनी रिक्वायरमेंट सबू आमर से वन स्टॉप आउटलेट रे भी मिल पारुछि सबू ये सबू संभव हो पारिछि आमर माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एवं ओडिशा मिलेट मिशन एवं मिशन शक्ति तरफ जोटा कि एबे तो 9 टाइप्स ऑफ मिलेट से टाइप रू सबू टाइप आमे आउटलेट धीरे धीरे आरंभ करने को गलुणु एबे लिटिल मिलेट रे उत्तपम करुचु डोसा करुचु तापर एबे गोटे मिलेट रो चाउमिन भी आमे आरंभ करिछु जोटा कि सबू पिलां को सेटा बहुत टेस्टी लगुछि बाहर रो जंक फूड छाड़ी कि पिला माने मिलेट खाउचंदी आउ रहिला स्विमिंग स्केटिंग जो पिला माने सब आसुचंदी डेली बेसिक रे से मन को पेरेंट्स माने भी समस्ते मिलेट रो किछि ना किछि जानिबा को पाइलेनी सेथिबाई मु धन्यवाद देवी एंटायर मैनेजमेंट ओडिशा मिलेट मिशन एंड मिशन शक्ति को थैंक यू
Thank you so much, Minati ji. May I request Shri Hare Krishna to facilitate. I always believe strongly in this quote that says, diet is an ongoing process of learning and discovering. And rightfully said, let us learn new things about millet in today's panel discussion. We have with us two eminent personalities from nutrition background, Ms. Anjali Dange and Ms. Lakshmi Shi Pandrala. I request both of you to please be seated on the dais while I introduce you to the audience. Anjali Dange is the creator of Starlight Nutrition and a celebrity nutritionist. She is an award-winning entrepreneur and holistic nutrition consultant with over 22 years of expertise in nutrition, dietetics, holistic health and wellness on a local and worldwide scale. She is also a member of Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics in the United States, the Indian Dietetic Association and the Nutrition Society of India. Her areas of expertise include medical nutrition therapy, age management, integrative nutrition. She has built 4 facilities and treated over 10,000 customers suffering from obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, thyroid, PCOD, and cosmetic concerns. I would request Siddharth sir to come and facilitate her. So, let's give her a round of applause. Lakshmi Shri Pandala is the founder and CEO of Lamy.fit, a trailblazing AI health tech platform focused on predictive and preventive wellness, with a remarkable career spanning of 13 years. Her overarching vision is to foster a healthier and a fitter India. With a profound understanding of client needs and a strong sense of empathy, she has transformed countless lives by facilitating positive lifestyle changes using genetic test-based nutrition counseling and crafting tailored diet plans. With her unwavering dedication, she continues to inspire individuals to lead wholesome and fulfilling lives. Let's all give her a round of applause and Siddharth sir to felicitate her. Sorry. Hello. Hello. So let's not wait anymore and start this insightful panel discussion. Ma'am. Getting straight to the topic, Lakshmi ma'am, how do you think millet has an edge over other cereals in an athlete's life and well-being?
Millets as such, they are definitely a superfood, and when it comes to sports nutrition, it plays a very important role, because at the end of it, athlete definitely needs a very high sports nutrition requirements, right? So their requirement for the protein, their requirement for the calories, energy is completely different. If you are looking in terms of athlete point of view, we are concentrating more on their recovery and their muscle growth, their stamina enhancement. So all these things definitely require a lot of energy and continuous energy, not sudden spikes. Millets actually do that. There is a continuous, very regularized energy requirement given to the body. Also, they have a very wide range of the amino acids like methionine and cysteine, which no other grains have it. And as we know, these amino acids, they act as the precursors for the protein synthesis, which is very vital for a muscle development. So millets definitely play a very important and a crucial role for sports athletes especially.
Anjali ma'am, what do you have to say about the same?
No, I think I support what Lakshmi has said. When you're an athlete, you're looking for, the major thing you look for is energy. So as Lakshmi was saying, it's sustained form of energy. That is, when you eat or consume anything with millets, you don't feel hungry very fast. You have small spurts of energy that are coming into your body. So that keeps you full for longer. So when you choose any food that has millets, it will give you that energy to continue till the end, and your coach will definitely find you not getting tired just with a few rounds of your training. Even till the end, you will be fresh and feel more energized. So that's the difference you will feel when you choose millets. And definitely the protein content helps you. Along with protein, you get so many other minerals that are there in it. And if you soak the millets, you will ensure that you get good availability or bioavailability of those minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, all of these will be there. So definitely millet is a much better choice if you're looking for pre-workout or post-workout meals.
Now that we know the importance of millet, most of the athletes here stay in hostel. So how and where would they source these millet-based recipes or food?
Yeah. So as you said, that is very true. Most of the athletes do complain कि मैम घर पे जब रहते हैं तो I'm hoping everybody definitely understands Hindi here. I'm not very comfortable in Odia. Sorry for that. So you know, they do definitely like when they are staying at home, any kind of a millet, like it could be a ragi or a jowar roti or a bajra. These are very easy, but especially it becomes a challenge for any athlete when they are on a travel or when they are staying in a academy or a training institute or when they go for these tournaments, different places. That becomes a challenging. So in that point, what we do is give them simple recipes where they can actually carry these, right? Like it could be a simple millet porridge, the powder, which can be handy and can be had at any point of time. Also the millet laddus, which are very widely used and can be simply made at home with very, very minimalistic contents in that. But at the same time, they are highly nutritious for athletes. So this is using these simple, small techniques. Definitely they can still use the millets anywhere they go.
Ma'am, now we got to know the accessibility of these food recipes, but what about the affordability of it? How affordable is it to players?
Yeah, I think that is where the benefit of millet comes in. When you look at other cereal grains, like for the ones that you compare usually with millets, like oats and quinoa, you would find them being more expensive than millets. And millets now, because of, thanks to the Prime Minister as well as the Chief Ministers of the different states who have taken up millet mission, they are all looking to bring millets into the price range which is easily affordable. And, to add on to the easily available products for you as well, today's exhibition, I hope all of you have been through it. There are so many products that can be made with millets and they have a good storage as well. So when you keep these laddus or you make energy bars with millets instead of any other grains, they will help you out when you're traveling as well as if you're staying in academies or in hostels wherein you need to provide something for yourself. So I think in terms of affordability, definitely millets is a good choice, and I don't think anybody will find it difficult to purchase millets in any form, whether it's powder or just whole millets or in the different forms of the products that have been made like what you saw in the exhibition.
My next question was going to be the easy recipes, but I think you covered it by telling the millet porridge or laddus or even energy bars.
I think there is a, millet is one form of cereal or grain that can be used to make almost anything. Even if you've had the lunch today, we were so surprised to see the kind of variety that the chefs have been able to come out with. So even whether you want to make a pulao or you want to make a kheer or you want to make a cake, everything is possible with millet today. So definitely easy recipe.
Millets, I think, put your creativity at its best, right? Use it, prepare it, whatever you think and we can make through it. And definitely you will enjoy it because it is at the end it is nutritious and it is your own creativity. So yes, it is not going to be that difficult to make anything out of it.
Millets is not something which has come up now as a trend. It's been followed since age-old days.
Yes.
So what might be the climatic factors in growing millets, if you would have
So
an idea?
millets, actually it's very surprising that it was introduced in Asia like 4,000 years ago. It's not, that's why we call it as the ancient grain. It is very, very known to in our cultures and Vedic scripts. If you see, millets are very definitely mentioned over there. It's just that over a period of time, lot of modernization, we have changed to different other things. But thank God, with so much of support from the government and a lot of people understand the value of these grains, we are coming back to the roots, right? So where we are going to the basics again. So, and coming to the climatic conditions, I think, it can be grown definitely at any condition. It needs a minimalistic of the water content or especially, where there is a scarcity of water. So climatic conditions also not being favorable is not a hindrance at all for growing these millets. So definitely it will be, most of the developing countries and most of the developed countries are also very much trying to adapt these millets in their daily consumption.
Anjali ma'am, you are an expert in clinical side of the nutrition, right? So I know this is about sports, but even sports person would have the other metabolic and lifestyle disorders. How do you think these millets would help in those metabolic or lifestyle disorders, like in preventing it or?
So whenever we come across athletes or young, sports people with any metabolic conditions, we have seen that addition of millets can definitely help them heal and recover faster. Because unless it is something where they are supposed to take low protein, other than that kind of a condition, all the other metabolic conditions, when we give them millet-based food, definitely recovery, healing, everything has been seen to be faster. In the slightly elder sports people, if they have come across having say diabetes, or if they have any thyroid conditions, there are specific millets that we use for specific health conditions. So based on the quantity that they are allowed per day, we portion control the millets along with adding the other grains. So if you have 7 days of the week, we usually tell them 3 to 4 days of the week we'll shift over from having, instead of rice and roti, we shift to having millets, and we reduce the amount of rice and wheat that they take. So we've seen very good results in terms of even improving their lifestyle issues and their conditions, bringing down their blood parameters.
I would like to add a point here. So millets as such, knowing the glycemic index being very low, right? Especially for the diabetic people, millets play a very, very vital role. So that is a very known for a lot of people who are especially diabetes. They do come up and say, ma'am, हमने already millet start कर दिया है. Especially like it could be a ragi or a jawar. But very few people know that it is very, very vital even for the cardiovascular issues also, because it is of the high fiber content. It even helps in reducing that non-HDL cholesterol, right, which is very vital for a healthy heart. So even looking in terms of the lifestyle diseases, whether it is a weight loss or whether it is diabetes or a cardiovascular disease, and including lowering the blood pressure, because of again, being it is very high antioxidant food, because any of these disease conditions, we see a inflammation to be very high. Also the gut health is very compromised. And millets help in reducing those inflammation, because they are rich in that antioxidants, like it could be the tannins, it could be the polyphenols, right? They help you to overcome that inflammation because of this So any of the lifestyle diseases, definitely millets are the best choice and the right choice.
We will now open the discussion for the audience if they have any questions to ask.
Athletes, sports, guys, I'm waiting for questions from your side.
Check. Lovely session, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ragi also been called as the south of India.
Right.
Do you think there's something, I think you also come from the south of India, there's something called as ragi malt, which is that orangish in color.
Ragi kanji.
Ragi ganji, ragi malt, which is
Ragi
mixed with
malt,
Do you think that can be used as an energy drink by athletes?
It's actually a very, very best of the pre-workout drink. Like in a lot of residential academies, sports academies, we have very well suggested this ragi malt to be given as a pre-workout drink. It can be used as a post also, but it serves the best when it is given as a pre-workout drink. And ragi malt, as I said, it is a powder, right? It can be carried by the athletes anywhere they go. All they have to do is just add a hot water to it, a little bit of maybe a palm jaggery, and that's it. That's the preparation, best preparation, and energy drink also.
So the process of malting is very important. For any millet, when you soak the millet for a long time, like overnight in water, it helps you digest it better. So that is why when you buy millets, you're always instructed at the back to soak the millets for a long time. So that is what they do with a ragi malt. there's a difference between a normal ragi powder versus a ragi malted powder. So you soak it, you sprout the grains, and that is then powdered. So that is how the digestibility of it improves, and that's why even just by adding water, it becomes a nice drink. Otherwise, generally when you buy millets as it is grains, you can't just add hot water and have it. But why you can have ragi malt is because it has already been processed in this way, and the amino acid content has been improved. So definitely ragi malt is a good pre-workout drink for sure.
Do we have any other questions? Yes.
Okay. You all know the Ethiopian teff. It is a one form of millet which is actually they are used for enhancing the performance of long distance runner. And usually they all, breakfast, lunch, dinner, they make it Ethiopian food that is called injera. It is just like one kind of odia called chakli pitha. And the climate is around, average climate is 17 degree. That's why they ferment that teff. They grind it and ferment it for 5 days because it's a cold climate. And after that they make the bread as well as that just like soft dosha, and which is helping them for all the middle distance runner and long distance runner to get the gold medal in the Olympics. This is the small concept I had given the millet and sports. And this nutrition values one research article is there mine in Polska, that European journal, Poland journal, that Ethiopian grains enhance the sport performance of middle distance run. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that information. Any further questions?
I think sir had a question.
Good evening, all the dignitaries. So I am a coach, I am a national coach also. So what we are facing when you are going to foreign, you know that the food is nothing but the energy source, is it not? It's a fuel. So when they are going for a long staying abroad for a long time, so the problem is food.
Yes.
So they are not able to cope up with the food what they are getting abroad. Because when you go to China or when you go to USA, when you go to different kinds of food, they have to take the food, that food only. But it is a problem for all the athletes. So how will you sort out this problem? So how this millet, whether can they take this food for a longer period? Can they store it for a longer time? Can they eat this food alone for a longer time? I think you are understanding what I am asking.
Yes.
This is the important, this one happening actually for our sports person. So if you give the answer, we are very happy.
Right.
Thank you.
So, like athletes, as I said, they do go to this Togo or the China. They do have a lot of issues because the food there is completely different. And we as Indians, especially the South Indians, we want that rice and we want that rotis to be there. So using millets, you can make these preparations like the jowar rotla, right? They can stay, shelf life is very high for that. So you can just carry those things along with them is what I suggest to the athletes, or they can carry the small cookers also, which can be easily used wherever they are going, and make just a khichdi out of it, right? Just the millets and dal, and so that they can still use whatever with the locally available vegetables. So that helps them overcome the issues up to a great extent, and also prepare this homemade few recipes where the shelf life is good with that. So we provide those recipes also so that the athletes can carry these pre-prepared products along with them. It could be the millet laddus, or it could be any of these theplas or the rotlas, which will definitely stay out of the fridge. They don't even have to be refrigerated. So they can be used so that the athletes do not the last thing we want the athlete to underperform is because of the energy lacked due to not availability of the food. So which these small foods itself they can sustain for a longer period of time also, because the energy is much better with the millets.
Is it possible?
So just like I'm sure you're aware of the MTR mixes that you get, right? So just like that, if you see some of the companies that have exhibited, they have ready to make millet khichdi mixes. So for the main meals, they have dry roasted dal, millets and all the spices and made a khichdi mix which can be taken with you, and easily it can be prepared just with hot water. So these are the kind of things. But one thing we should realize, when we are going for a long stay anywhere, we can't just only depend only on millets. What we are trying to do here is tell you that millets can be part of the athlete's diet. It need not be the only grain that we use. So you will have to do a combination of other grains along with millets. So then you'll definitely be able to have a good variety for the long stay. And for the energy boosters, the things like the energy bars or the laddus that can be made with millets are definitely a good option.
Why you cannot try for complete millet,
can't you?
complete millet food from A to Z, from morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on. Thing.
You want to have all three
Complete,
meals.
complete.
That is possible. Only
No,
thing is it
practical,
depends
I'm
on how
asking the-
long you're staying
No, no, I am
outside the
asking
country.
I am asking the practical.
Yeah.
So is it possible to make it? I
When
think
you're
I'm
staying outside the country or when you're
outside,
staying at
anywhere
home?
in India or abroad also.
Definitely.
This problem
That
generally
is,
happens
I think,
in the abroad.
the product innovation for millets is definitely, improving with every year. So initially
Okay.
we used to get only millet grains. Now we are getting so many products made out of it. So definitely all three meals you can shift to millets also if the availability is there, and if you don't have all these constraints of no fridge or those kind of things. Definitely all three meals, and you should be able to cook, because millets need a little amount of cooking at least.
That is possible.
Yes.
But this can be discussed with the federation and all these things.
Yes.
It's a very important issues actually, I am telling.
Very important.
Issues.
Okay.
Yes, very important issues.
Yeah. So I'm sure with the innovation that is coming with products, very soon your athletes will not face these issues that you're facing now.
I will take your contact number. also.
Definitely.
Huh? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your question. Ma'am, I have a question. Can we mix more than one kind of millet in a single dish? And
That's actually a very good question, because a lot of athletes and lot of clients also do ask us this key, can we mix? We have read somewhere that we cannot mix more than one millet, but it's not, yes, there are actually two groups of millets. Some of the millets are heating to the body, some of them are cooling to the body, cooling effect, right? So you do not mix both of them, but if it is in the same group, yes, you can definitely mix. But if you are mixing all the millets in one thing itself, right, then you'll run out of varieties to make out of. So it's always better to go with one or two millets so that you still have variety to choose from. At the same time, you are using all the millets like on a rotation basis.
any other questions? Yeah. Dinesh.
So I'd like to ask one question that if in a growing world there is so much of preservatives been added for like sir asked for some powders which can be made for a later part of time. So what's your insight on when some preservatives been added to the millet? Is there any compromise been happened with the values of the millet each and athlete used to have the later part?
So yes, any of the packaged products do definitely come with lot of preservatives. The preservative could be as simple as a high salt content itself, because especially for athletes, that is the last thing we want to have is very high sodium, which will retain the water and not let them move properly. So if most of the millets, like homemade preparations is what I usually suggest the athletes to take it and go. But there are certain companies in the market running where they do not use lot of preservatives. So understanding that label, what actually as the process involved, or what are the additives which have gone into the preservatives. So understanding that label is very important. Minimal of only one or two preservative is still it's okay to accept, but not a multiple names which you do not know how to pronounce it or which you have never heard of. Do not go for that. So, but best is definitely always home prepared. But if that is not a choice, not a something you have to buy it from outside, look for the contents. What exactly are the additives which has gone into it?
I hope that answers your questions.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
No,
sir.
yes, yes. This is not a big question, very simple. You told that how it is different from other food.
How
How
millet?
this millet is different from other food. What you only told this one. Okay. And you are referring that recovery and energy requirements and so many things. So this is very important for us. No, how it is different.
So millets are definitely different from the other grains, like for if you take into consideration rice, right, or gluten, or the wheat is completely gluten, so which is most of the athletes are coming out to be allergic also with lot of issues. And when it comes to the cereals like rice and all, they do not have the amino acids, or we do not have the fiber in it, or they do not have the protein content which is much more higher in the millet. That is how they are definitely different. And niacin, which is very high content, and protein content which is high in the millets, or the fiber for that matter. These are the minerals, these are the nutrients which does not let the sugar level spike in the blood. And for an athlete point of view, we do not want the sugar levels to be spiking. We want a stable release of that energy. And that's where the millets actually coming into help.
Good evening, ma'am. Since we all are coaches sitting here, just I want to asking one questions. See, everything is depend upon the amount of energy we take and amount of energy expenditure. So that has to be balanced. For sportsman, it is a fixed amount of energy depend upon the game to game. But I want to know, just clarify the normal way of getting energy from the normal foods and from millet. So is there any difference, or how much we can take to supplement that foods?
Yes, as we were just talking about it, when you eat rice or wheat, if wheat has a good amount of fiber and not maida, I'm not talking about maida, I'm talking about whole wheat. So you have rice, you have whole wheat, and you have millets. The difference between the three is rice, as soon as you eat, there's a spurt of blood sugar in your blood, because it's direct carbohydrate, no fiber, right? With wheat, there is a small amount of fiber, there's a little bit of spike in sugar, and then it starts to balance out. With millets, there is no spike in the sugar, because along with the protein, there is a good amount of fiber that comes in. So that is the difference how it digests. So for an athlete, what do you want? You want them to have energy for a long time, correct? That is where millet comes into picture. It helps you get energy for a long time.
So I have one second question. See, now in India, most of the part they are using the vegetarian diets. Okay, now vegetarian diets, because most of the athletes, if you go to the northern side, they want the vegetarian diets. That means I think it is best sources. This is one of the best sources to get supplements from the non-veg, because amount of taking non-veg like mutton, chicken, fish. So what amount of protein we get? So is it we get it from this by taking by millet? Because millet is full of balance also, protein, minerals, vitamins. So is it just way to can get supplements, so you can advise the vegetarian diet people can have millets rather than not taking non-veg foods?
I think it depends on what the person wants. If you're looking to substitute millets instead of non-veg, the entire protein content of the millets does not equal always to the non-veg that you're taking. But definitely it's much more better than just having only rice and wheat. You will be enhancing your protein intake when you take millets. But it cannot be a substitute for the non-veg. The non-vegetarian food is pure protein. Here you're getting protein with carbohydrate and so many other nutrients. So if you're looking for one grain which will give you a balanced meal, then you're looking for millet. But if you're looking for a pure protein source, then definitely the non-vegetarian food will give you a pure protein source without any carbohydrate.
Hello, ma'am. Please tell me about the daily recommendation of millets for youth female athlete and youth male athletes. Ma'am, the daily recommendation of millets. age 10 to 12. Yes.
So it's not the daily recommendation of the millets, it's going to be the recommendation of calories. So it again that depends on the age of the child, the height of the child, and also what kind of a physical activity, how many number of hours. So anywhere between, if the requirement for they are spending at least 1 to 2 hours of practice, we are looking at a plus 3 to 400 of calories. So that giving through the millets will be good. So wherever the rice is been there or wherever the roti is been given, you can always replace it with a millet content. Not to say that, oh, this is the requirement as such, nothing, as kuch limit.
Hello, good evening everybody. My doubt is, millet, I was watching that one, that 1.5 to 6 is the fat percentage in total content, and 6 to 11 still is protein, and rest amount is carbohydrate only in millet. So how it will help to the diabetic patients if it is taken regularly?
Sir, when you talk about the carbohydrate, there are two types of carbohydrate in it. So we are talking about the dietary fiber content of millets. They are higher. That fiber will help you maintain your sugar levels and your cholesterol levels. It will not allow your sugar levels to spike much. So the dietary fiber content is what you have to look at.
Fiber content is more.
Yes. When you see total carbohydrate, they add the dietary fiber and the other complex carbohydrate. So you have to look at how much fiber the millet has. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much, ma'am. Both the session, the whole panel discussion was very wonderful, very enlightening. I'm sure we all have learned one new thing about millets today and go back home and try to put it in action, right? Thank you so much, ma'am.
Or
It
they
was
can have
wonderful.
it right here itself.
Good evening,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much.
Moving on to our last segment, I request our spokesperson, Mr. Ravi Kumar, to come and talk for a minute.
Good afternoon to all, and thanks for having me here. On this occasion of International Millet Year, it delights me to be a part of this Millet Mission campaigning. Today I stand before you not just an athlete, but as a proud ambassador for millet, a cause close to my heart, very essence of sportsmanship. Millet with a rich nutrition profile provide an energy boost that is circular of athletes. It is a powerful house of essential nutrition, offering a sustainable and wholesome source of energy. As someone who relies on peak performance, I can assist the importance of fueling athletes' body with the right nutrients, and millets have proven to be an individual part of their dietary regime. By embracing millets, not only do we nursing ourselves, but we also make a collective stride towards a healthier and more sustainable future. As athlete, we are not just competitor on the field, we are role model and ambassador for positive changes. I encourage fellow athletes and sportsmen enthusiasts alike recognize the importance of millet in enhancing our physical well-being, preserving the environment, and promoting a lifestyle that reflects our commitment to healthier world. As an international athlete and behalf of Department of Sports and Youth Service, I would like to request Sri Minati ma'am to make energy bar made with millet so that it will be handy for the sports person while traveling the national and international events, uh, even carry for workout sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravi Kumar. Now I think we can see an additional energy bar in our Millet Cafe. I would now request Anupama Swain to come and share a few words.
Good afternoon. I am deeply honored to stand before you. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. I am deeply honored to stand before you today as an ambassador for the initiative between the Odisha Millet Mission and the Sports and Youth Services Department. It is yet another example of the Odisha government breaking before when it came to the development of sports and supporting athletes. As an athlete, I know the role that nutrition can play in strengthening an athlete and enhancing their skill. It can be the difference between failure and success. While it is one thing for an athlete to recognize to the improvements or nourishing themselves correctly. The challenges they often face is that it is expensive to get the nutrition they need. However, millets and widely accessible and affordable. It has the potential to reduce the burden and young athletes. Once again, I would like to thank the government of Odisha for their efforts and look forward to playing part in promoting millets and helping athletes get the nourishment they need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anupama. May I request Shri Siddharth Das sir, our own Director of Sports, to give his concluding remarks.
Thank you. Namaskar, good afternoon everybody. We have come to the end of a wonderful session on actually alternative way of life, a method of adoptions that we should all now think of. In fact, sitting here I was thinking the essence of the entire discussion is actually based on an alternative way. The way which was probably there long back, 4,000 years millets have been there, but now we are rediscovering the usage and the benefit of the millet. I must thank to the Honorable Chief Minister, Visionary Chief Minister of Odisha, who started this mission in 2017. With his vision, the millet mission of Odisha started in 2017. And now we are integrating the millet mission with lot of other things, and one of them being sports. Our commissioner rightly said that we have been actually trying to integrate with a lot of sporting activities, like integrating it during the course of World Cup. We have tried to put the millet as a showpiece, as a show lesson for everybody to take it during the course of the Hockey World Cup, in our hostels, in our Kalinga Stadium campus. Everywhere we are trying to see where we can take millet, the help of millet, and we can use millet. You know, the world is seriously facing the issues of climatic changes, the issues of increasing carbon footprints, and there are serious challenges to the health of the humanity, the health of the mankind, with new, in fact, India becoming the diabetic capital of the world. So all these challenges can be addressed. One of the best ways to take millet in our food, regular food, maybe integrate with some of the, as our panelists have said, integrate with the existing diet or millet as a sole diet. The entire discussions, the question answers, during the question answers, we have had wonderful questions from the coaches, participants who have asked very, very pertinent questions, and I am sure एठी जो बसिथिबा पिला माने सेमाने समस्ते बुझिथिबे जे मिलेट रो उपयोग कोन, मिलेट रो बेनिफिट कोन, एवं सेमाने किबळी निजर लाइफस्टाइल ले निजे हॉस्टेल ले रही कि मध्य दे कैन टेक मिलेट इन डिफरेंट फॉर्म एवं कहीं की खाइबे. We all know that Darwin said long back that the survival, the key to the survival is actually you have the fit, only the fit and the people who are able to adopt will be able to survive. The world which is seeing a change in climatic front in terms of the requirement of food grains, because with the increase in population and rise in the use and rise in the urbanization, the agricultural lands is also shrinking. To address a lot of the consumption of millet will address a lot of issues. I am really thankful that in today's discussion, which an hour or so, we have debated, we have discussed, and we have learnt a lot on all these issues. I am sure एठी बसिथिबा समस्ते, particularly sports hostel पिला माने, they will take it seriously and make millet a part of their life. Thank you all.
What an engaging session, a very lively session. It's been an absolute pleasure, an honor to be here. I thank you, all of you, for being a lively audience spectator here and participating in this 1 hour session. My deepest thanks to the Commissioner cum Secretary Sports for being here, for encouraging us, and we all of us know the way he has been leading the sports movement in the state. Millets is going to be a shot in his arm, and in coming days, millets will play a major role in shaping the future of our athletes. My heartfelt thanks to Director Sports for being here, who has been consistently encouraging us in our different sports development initiatives. I would like to special thank to our distinguished panelists who have come all the way to inspire us, to enlighten us, and to give us a new perspective on the millets and how sports can leverage the benefits of millets. My sincere thanks to the officials, the students, the coaches, the support staff from Department of Sports and Youth Services who have taken some time out and assembled here for this lively session. My sincere thanks to the Department of Agriculture for putting up such a spectacular show. It's been an enlightening experience. I hope all of us will go back home with one thing in our mind, that millets are not a forgotten food now. This is not just a grain now. This is something which has always been a help to the mankind, and in coming days, the relevance of millets will only grow. Thank you all for being here, being patient, and being in this lively session. Thank you all.
Hello.